I'm seated here with Mark Harris, expat life and Udon Thani and why expats choose to live here. Mark's going to be 80 in November. Very interesting history. He was married for 52 years.
53.
53 years. He's been living now in Udon Thani for 2 years. Mm-hmm. Previously, his first trip to Thailand was in 1967?
Yes.
1967. He's been coming to Thailand for a long time, but most recently has lived here since 2003?
Yes.
Bangkok, and then he moved from Bangkok to Udon Thani, but you can tell there's a lot of history to cover. He stays in great shape. Mark, thank you for being here.
And thank you for the chance to talk about this.
Man, you know, it's interesting because he grew up in Michigan, so he went to university in Michigan, said it's not for me. He enlisted in the military. The military landed him in places like Germany, I think Korea,
Thailand.
And one thing led to another. He even had stints in Alaska and Texas. He's been all over the world. So your perspective is very interesting. Speaks fluent Thai. You've been coming to Thailand since 1967.
Yep.
And most recently, you've been living here over 20 years. Bangkok and then here. Mm-hmm. Why do you pick Udon Thani?
Several reasons. One, my wife and I had bought a house here, had it remodeled, and had moved here, but it was kind of a long-term plan. And when my wife passed, I just got tired of Bangkok, the traffic, the congestion. And coming up here, I found that the atmosphere, the people are different. They seem more open, friendlier, especially if I can greet them in Thai, hold a short conversation with them. They're open to talking. Too many times in Bangkok, go to a shop, speak to them in Thai, and it's business. Don't talk to me. You know, this is not a conversation.
People are more abrupt. Even the local Thais in Bangkok are more short. It's more of an urban city vibe. Whereas here, what I notice, and I say this after traveling all around Thailand and profiling different places to live as expat. Mm-hmm. The Udon Thani has a nice, what I would make the equivalent of a small town feel in America. You go to America to a small town, people also so friendly.
Yep.
You know, and when you go to a city in America, there's more hustle. They're more brief, same like Bangkok.
Well, that's one of the changes that I've seen in Bangkok. When I first came, it wasn't a big city vibe. It was a vibe of a cluster of small towns rather than one big city. Now it's one big city.
Man, so you came here originally before the military. You were in Korat.
Yep.
You know, Korat is south of here by, 4 or 5 hours?
Roughly that.
If you drive it?
Roughly.
And what was it like back then?
Very small town. I was pretty much limited to the military facilities at the time.
You know, we should mention that really quick. American military has a real history. The main thoroughfare, Highway 2, was built by Americans, and that connects all your main cities along the Eastern region.
It's called Friendship Highway.
Friendship Highway.
Friendship Highway.
Built during the war.
The U.S. and Thailand.
But you know, it's funny how they label things. Mm-hmm. That was actually a strategic highway to attack probably Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam. Yep. So, but they call it friendship.
Well, friendship between the two countries, not any third parties.
No, because it really probably helped the killing of a lot of innocent people. But that's a separate topic.
Yeah.
So you were in Korat.
Just for a short time.
You've been in Bangkok. You've lived in Udon Thani. Where else have you stayed in Thailand?
I spent, how long was it? A year in Pitsanulok, which is about halfway between Bangkok and Chiang Mai. And that was nice. Another small town. Very friendly people. Was an advisor to the Thai Army. And loved working with them. Great people.
Man, it's interesting because, like you said, you were advisor to the Thai Army. You've had so much time where, in fact, you were working with Thais. Mm-hmm. You know, unless somebody's a school teacher, which you were, we'll get to that. But not a lot of Americans have the experience of working with Thais, say, in the military or in the police.
No. And I think the biggest connector was, hey, we're all, at the time I was originally a military policeman, working with Thai police. Hey, we're all police. And working with the Thai Army, it's, hey, we're all Army, we're all military people. We share a common basic culture. And that made it much easier to...
Yeah, you have the camaraderie of your, whether you're military or in police. That's like a subculture,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Where you're united.
Yeah.
Man, so Udon Thani. Why Udon Thani? Mark, what the heck are you doing all the way in eastern Thailand in Udon Thani?
Yeah, like I said, many reasons. To get away from Bangkok, for one. And like I said, we'd originally bought a home here. I just had never moved here. We had it remodeled, ready to move into. And when my wife passed away, I decided I didn't want to stay in Bangkok any longer. There wasn't much there for me anymore. And I thought I'd give this a try. And I've enjoyed it. I liked it.
53 years married. His wife passed away from breast cancer. Sorry, that was recently, 3 years ago.
Yep.
You're now a bachelor.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to be 80 in November.
Yeah.
So you're a young bachelor. You know, he's youthful, right? He's going to be 80 in November. And
Well, the outside gets old, but inside I'm still in my 20s.
yeah,
I feel like it
because you said
anyway.
you had two knee what do you call it? Knee replacements?
Knee replacements.
And you had a hip
hip
replacement.
yeah.
Here in Thailand?
Yes.
Where?
The hip was done in Bangkok. The two knees were done locally here at Bangkok Hospital.
Pretty
So
good hospital here?
I'm impressed with them. Very impressed. Well, I went there the other day. I have sinusitis from, one doctor says, possible Agent Orange exposure, and it keeps recurring. When I walked in, and in the last time I'd gone to a hospital in the U.S., it took 10 hours to get anything done. I walked in here, gave them my hospital card, they checked my vitals, and said, "There's one person ahead of you, go see the doctor."
Yeah, I think I've had a few medical style vlogs, and that's always my experience. That there's a quickness. It's, well, your insurance pays through the military. I have insurance also, but it's very efficient. And then the doctor-patient relationship, I feel better going to the hospital here. A lot of times the doctor just gives me their WhatsApp. You know, I have a direct line of communication. It's quite nice. So that's good. So you go to the local Bangkok hospital.
Yep.
I walked by it, and it looks nice.
And it's expanding now. But I want to comment too. My wife and I spent 2 years in China as teachers. And in that 2 years, we had several medical visits. One doctor could speak English. Here, all of them speak English.
So English proficiency in Thailand so good.
Yes.
Even compared, I go to Japan probably every other month, and it's not even close. Like Thailand, the kids speak English, everyone, and part of that I think too is the hustle, meaning hustle in a good way.
Yeah.
It's part of making a livelihood. I think in Thailand they understand with tourism, if they learn English, they're going to make more money.
Yep.
And it's not a survival, but it is in a way of how they're going to make their livelihood. But going back, you said you were teaching. You have interesting experience because military, and then after the military, teacher. So you were working in Thai University in Bangkok.
Worked there for a year, teaching English. And then I went to work for the Thai Civil Aviation, where English is a requirement. You have to be competent in English before they'll let you do anything else, which was good. We taught there 5 years. And since then I've taught in several international schools here. And I loved it. I'd say 99% of the kids wanted to learn and put in the effort. That I taught a couple of years in Florida as well to get my certification. And it's like, almost like a different world. That you get more respect as a teacher, not because I was a foreigner, but because I was a teacher.
There's a respect, sure.
You know, that's refreshing.
It's refreshing because in America there's some challenges. My mother, she retired, was a school teacher. But we hear the stories now about the challenges of teachers back home where there's not a lot of respect in a lot of cases between student and teacher.
Yep.
I mean, the teachers, yeah, but they're challenged with kids, whether that's due to social media or just the overall cultural vibe. Mark, I see you, like when we met having coffee, you know, something to be said, I think, for speaking two languages. There's scientific evidence that when speaking two languages, it actually keeps our brains more alert. And any type of dementia or Alzheimer's, it actually is one thing they say by speaking and thinking in two languages. It actually delays any kind of onset, if there's going to be. And one thing I noticed about you, 80 years, almost 80 in November, you're sharp and you're engaging. I wonder how much of that is attributed to being in Thailand, not only speaking two languages, but being here.
I think part of it can be attributed to being here. I find myself more laid back, more calmer, more accepting, I think, because, you know, there are differences, there are going to be differences, and it's like, well, okay, that's just the way it is now.
You know, I think what you're referring to, and I experience it too, Thailand, it's not for everyone.
No.
And it's not necessarily an easy way of living because back home in the U.S., there's a shared urgency in regard to time and efficiency that just doesn't exist here. And it can drive a guy crazy. I have a lot of moments where being here, where I get in a situation, typically it happens at immigration or going to the transportation office or wherever, where it really tests a guy's patience.
Oh, yeah.
And I found myself weighing where it would be so easy to fall into that downward funnel of being angry and frustrated. And you said test your patience. I think for me too, and what it's forced me to do is have a little pause in a good way.
Yeah.
So I feel like I end up responding better and reacting less.
Well, there is a bureaucracy here, which is pretty much adhered to, but once you've been through it a few times, you kind of say, well, that's just the way they do business.
I can see where some guys come from the U.S. and that frustration, and I have empathy for any foreigner from the U.S. here who I mean, I like being in the game of America where there is a hustle and urgency and shared respect for time. And it can be hard to be in a culture where you go into some of these offices and it's almost like they're testing you to see if they can break you. You know, because it can be so frustrating to go into transportation office and be told, go get a photocopy of that, get a photocopy of this. Now go back down and do another one. And it would be so easy to say, what the am I doing here?
Yeah, I've done that several times, or felt that several times with immigration. It's like, wait a minute, last time this is all you needed, today you need this.
More photocopies?
Yeah, more of this, or in a different form, or something.
I wonder where all those papers end up.
When I came originally, the immigration office, you would visit the clerks, and behind their desk would be stacks of
stacks.
paper.
But they must end up in the garbage eventually.
Which had never, as far as I know, had never been filed, never gone anywhere.
They must, now, where do they store them? Where do they throw them away or burn them?
Now most of it's computerized. Then I think they just threw it away.
Mark, it's not computerized.
Some of it
when
is.
I go to get my license for the vehicle, oh no, there was a stack of papers.
Oh yeah.
You know, and it keeps people employed. They can't break up that.
Well, that's one thing too. That
well, if you make it all digital, a lot of people are going to lose their livelihood.
That's one thing that's very different from the U.S., where the U.S. is concerned with, we got to do this efficiently, we got to do it quickly. Here it's kind of, well, we got to give people jobs.
Got to give people jobs, you know, and that's a reminder too when we have those frustrating moments. is a reminder that this is part of their economy. They have to pay the person,
Yep.
and they can't delete that segment of frustration or efficiency to replace it with efficiency, because that would make someone lose a job.
Yep.
Mark, man, so Udon Thani, you kind of have a routine in your day. I've been at the coffee place, there's Starbucks now, for a couple mornings. You come in right at about 9:30.
Roughly, yeah. Yeah, since I started coming there, you know, I talked to them, which I noticed a lot of people did not do. You know, always good morning, how are you today? Please, thank you, those sorts of things.
So then what do you do after Starbucks?
It varies. After my knee replacement, I go to the local shopping mall, 5 stories, and then walk.
Oh, because doctor says
the
walk,
circuit. Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You probably feel better when you're walking. If you were to stop and just sit around, you get more
Stiffen
pain,
up.
stiff.
Stiffen up, yes.
So you go to the Central Mall, you do some walking, maybe walk by the train station. Yeah, I love walking along here because it is pleasant and there's all the food. And then right next to us is the evening market, which is my favorite, right in front of where I'm staying at the hotel. And then I enjoy, like you, walking over to the train station,
Yep.
because it's another little social interaction vibe where I think a lot of people go over there, they're not even getting to catch a train.
Nope.
They're just hanging out, like at a public park. And then across the street's your hospital.
Yep.
Of the train station, you had the Bangkok hospital there.
Yep. And as I said, everything is convenient here. Having my own car, basically 20 minutes I can be almost anywhere in town.
So you do your routine in town here, you have your coffee. Now, where is your home?
It's near the airport, which is just outside the city.
Do you rent?
Legally, yes.
Legally, yes.
Belongs to my nephew.
But you mentioned that you purchased it, okay, through an agent or your
Through
nephew.
Through family.
How much did you pay?
600,000 baht, which
Wait.
At the time I'm not sure
That's
how much.
less than $18,000.
I know, but it needed work. It had been repossessed. People who lived there before knew it was going to be repossessed, I think, and
So you're into it for how much?
a little less than 2 million baht. But, you know, air-conditioned bedroom, air-conditioned living room, well, 2 air-conditioned bedrooms.
You cook at home?
I don't cook. I have a lady who comes in every Sunday morning, cleans the house, does my laundry, and then 5 or 6 evenings a week, she lives very nearby, she brings me dinner.
How much you pay her?
About 1,200 baht. 1,200?
12,000.
12,000.
12,000 baht?
A month.
So $340 a month.
Which I'm
She
told,
makes sure you stay nourished and have good hearty meals.
but I'm told I'm overpaying her significantly.
Wow.
But I don't care.
No, the value that you get.
No.
Now, we had some conversations at coffee, so I want to preface this question that we've already talked about it. Because you guys watching this say, oh my God, did he really ask that? Are you going to die in Thailand?
Quite probably.
You know, I think about it. I think about my own mortality almost daily basis. And I think about it not in a sadistic way, but in a way to live each day fully.
Yep.
And remind me, like, man, life is short. I don't want to miss a minute of trying to enjoy our time here.
Yep.
So, I mean, I'm not a religious guy. I like Buddhism values. But people say, wait till you get to heaven. No, I'm in heaven right now. I love my life, you know? I really enjoy it. So, back to the question, if you plan to die in Thailand.
Yeah, as I told you, I'm working on a will right now as to my local bank account in the U.S., property, so on. And, you know, I'm not trying to be morbid or anything. It's just, it's inevitable.
It's inevitable.
And I've seen several, quote-unquote, retirement homes in the U.S., and I was not thrilled with what I saw.
So if you do need, my dad died at 100. He was in assisted living the last 6 months. And it made me think, I don't I mean, he had some monies, but it still made me think, I don't want to have to be in this position. Now, in the U.S., we don't have our family units, and that's been broken up, and assisted living is common, but you said you don't want to be in that system back home.
No.
If you need assisted living, would you prefer it here or America?
Here.
Why?
Definitely. Thai people seem to be more concerned with the other person, more caring. Example, when I had my knees done, I was limited in mobility, of course, when I first had it done. My nephew flew up from Bangkok, stayed with me, so he could help me get around, did some cooking for me, drove me around town because I was not allowed to drive. And that's just the way it is. My brother-in-law who lives next door, similar things. You know, if you need anything, let me know.
Yeah, to your point, you know, I think about it. What if I need assisted living? And I want to start mapping a plan now. I mean, I'm 58, but who knows what's going to happen in 5 years?
Sure.
And I think that plan, the map plan, is going to be in Thailand. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to do a vlog about this, about what happens if you get to a point where you need assisted care, and how would I go about planning that here. How would you plan it if you needed assisted?
If I needed to go to an assisted living facility, I've done a little bit of research. There are several around. Hua Hin, I know, has at least one. Bangkok has several, I believe. I'm not sure up here in the Northeast if there's anything available. I believe Chiang Mai has it. So, you know, do some research.
And find the right place,
which
right?
one fits me.
And I agree with you in regard to even the care when it comes to going to the dentist or medical. I feel like the Thai care is more compassionate. And I think in assisted living, it would be the same way, where there would be a different kind of compassion and caring compared to what I witnessed with my father when he was in assisted living. In all respect to people who've worked in fast food, but the people walking into his room looked like they stepped right out of the counter from McDonald's. And it looked like they had been eating McDonald's 12 meals a day.
Yeah.
And I thought, this is, you know, it is what it is, but I think in Thailand it would be different.
Yeah, I think once you become accepted with my housekeeper, she has apparently adopted me as part of the family. In fact, her youngest son is nicknamed Mark. She treats me like one of her family now. And as I said, once you integrated into the society, you are part of the society. You're not excluded. And my mother spent the last couple of years of her life in assisted living. And I felt that she was more of an object than a person.
Financial instrument for the institutions of assisted living back home, which is all like become a complete financial mechanism for VC and takeovers, and that's a whole mess. You can read all the stories about that. Yeah, you don't want to be in that.
No.
Who would you arrange so you would research assisted living facilities, like in Chiang Mai or?
Probably not Chiang Mai. I'd think about Hua Hin, just for the sea breeze and being close to the beach.
I like Hua Hin. How do you say it again? Hua Hin?
Hua Hin.
You say it correctly. I say it like a bad farong.
Well, I still say a lot of words where my tones are wrong.
Yeah.
But that's okay with most people.
So Hua Hin, and then you'd be near the ocean.
Yeah, no, ocean and some mountains.
Why not do that now? I mean, not assisted living, but why not? Like, I love being near water. You don't have water here except for a little lake.
Well, it's hard to say. I don't know. Now that I've become accustomed to Udon Thani, I like it. I like it here. I've never been a great beach person. You know, you can tell my hair color, skin. I do not tan. I tend to burn quite easily. And it's changed too.
But it's interesting because you said when you visualize if you need assisted care, you just described Hua Hin. and being near the ocean and the mountains.
As probably my first choice.
I also gravitate to what you described, right? And then my question for you is, why not move there now?
Well, I'm enjoying my life here.
Udon Thani.
Yeah.
So you went through your routine, and I think part of it is, and I can feel it too. I've only been here a few days. And for you, those of you new to my channel, I travel around Thailand and I rate and explore why expats choose to live in those given areas. So with you choosing to be here in Udon Thani, it does have a welcoming, relatively warm. It feels different than, say, Buriram.
Yeah.
Like, I prefer here
Yeah.
in regard to what you're describing. And I think it's because maybe there's more familiarity with foreigners.
Well, when I first came here, it was not quite this way, although there was military here, U.S. military. So over the years, they have accepted foreigners.
Mark, I wonder, I wonder though, if you go back generations, right? If you go back to the early 70s here, the Americans had a huge presence.
Yeah.
I mean, they expanded the airport for the Vietnam War. They were instrumental in building Highway 2, which connects the whole Isan region. And there was a lot of military here.
Yeah.
And you feel it in some of even the street, the infrastructure here. You can see that the streets were built by Americans. But that means the grandparents here in Udon Thani, they became very familiar with Americans.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that familiarity, it does get passed down to generations.
It does get passed down, and I found most foreigners are more readily accepted than in some other places.
And I wonder, actually, the experience of Americans being here, the way they help build the infrastructure and help build the economy. Because when the Americans were here, the economy started to thrive.
Yeah.
And granted, it was for horrific reasons, meaning the Americans were murdering people in Vietnam. It was just terrible. And also what happened to Americans. But that aside, if you're in Udon Thani back then, they're not seeing all that. And they're probably thinking, wow, look at the Americans. They're really helping our economy.
Well, they are. In fact, as an example, when Vietnam wound down for the Americans, there were demonstrations in several places where Americans were located, including Udon Thani. I was in Pittsburgh at the time.
What year?
This would be, there were a lot of students came out saying, like America, go home.
Sure.
And through the Thai Army grapevine, I was told this was like 73, 74 students from the local university marched, and shop owners and parents, rather than police or army, met the demonstrators and told them, you kids don't know what you're talking about. These Americans are contributing to our economy. Go back to school and study like you're supposed to.
I think with Udon Thani, the success of Udon Thani, if you call it that, the development, really the foundation of that was laid by Americans. The investment made during the Vietnam War,
I think led to a lot of the
which
development.
the Vietnam War we know now was not a good war at all. No war is good, but it did result in the economic kind of corridor and the significance of Udon Thani.
Yep.
Mark, for those guys watching, what kind of expat, what kind of American do you think would like Udon Thani? And I say that because when I hop around Thailand and rate different places to live as an expat, I believe that a certain kind of expat is attracted to each place. For example, in Krabi, I notice a lot of guys, kind of fitness expats, out on the beach, right? When I'm in Bangkok, they like that urban vibe. They go out to the dining and enjoy that. Now, you go to Pattaya, it's kind of split. Pratanak Hill kind of has the expats that just want to live a regular, enjoyable life near the ocean, but then you have the party life. You go to where I stay, Suratani. I just like it because it's away from all the foreigners. It's very authentic. What kind of expat would like it here?
I think you got to be laid back. I don't drink, so I don't hit any of the bar scenes. I have no idea what it's like here. I'm sure there are some expats who go there.
Take a minute here. You can tap the link above because I did a vlog about nightlife in Udon Thani. So I'm like you though. I don't typically do nightlife unless it's for YouTube, but I explored.
Well, I just, in a certain way, it would be somewhat like living in the U.S. It's just less expensive. People are friendlier. Things are more laid back. I do my own shopping. As soon as the doctor gives me clearance, I'll start back to the gym, do a little more fitness. And if you have family here, a lot of expats are here because of that reason, married local women. But I think you have to be a little more laid back than you would be in, say, Pattaya or Bangkok.
I think what you just said at the end there, that's my feeling. I see foreigner guys here with their Thai wives. Now, different from you, where you and your wife met over about 55 years ago, and you met in Bangkok with work. But I get the feeling, I might be wrong, but I get the feeling a lot of guys who are with their Thai wives here maybe met them in Pattaya.
Well, I have no clue.
The woman is from here, and then they move back here.
Yep.
Now, I know there's exceptions, but I feel like back to that point, if it's correct, I too would do the same thing. If I wanted to meet a woman, a great woman from Isan, maybe I would go to places that they tend to move to, like Pattaya. But the last thing I would want to do is stay there living.
Yep.
I'd want to get her out of there.
Yep.
I would say, let's move back to Isan where you're from and just have a peaceful, quiet, easy, humble life.
That's it, exactly. And, well, for instance, at the hospital, I know it's not my good looks, not my money, because they know I'm not rich, but I've had some great conversations with nurses there. If a single foreigner was here, he could meet some very nice young ladies and older ladies around the city here. In fact, I was complimented that if I were younger, one of the young ladies said, "You'd be the perfect boyfriend if you weren't so old."
So cute, man. You say that, but I think it's good for our souls as men. There is a feeling of, it can be flirty, it could just be nice, but underneath it, you feel a little ounce of desirability, being desired, which when I go home, I feel none of it. And sometimes I'll say hi to a Western woman in Bangkok. They look at me and why are you saying hi? They don't even acknowledge me. And in Thailand, I'm just being nice. You can say hi to a 10. Hey, Sawasdee Krap, or good morning at Starbucks. She's going to turn around with a smile and say hello, just out of human courtesy.
Sure.
Not trying to hit on her. Just trying to be, hey. And it feels good, like you said, to have that validation as a human, as a man. Like you said, it's kind of cute. They do a little flirt or, and it feels kind of good.
It makes you feel good.
And it's not in a weird way.
No.
It's just part of life.
In fact, yesterday I just emailed my brother about political situation going on here and mentioned I was doing my walk at Central Mall and I came across a family, I presume, a man, his wife, I presume, and a little girl. And I said hello to the little girl and I got the greatest smile from the lady. It's just like, hey, that just made my day, made me feel so much better.
Yeah, there's something that goes on, I think, in the culture where hello is not a crime. Here.
Yep.
I get the feeling when I go home.
You're sexually harassing me.
Whatever it could be, just a gentle hello, good morning at coffee. And I've experienced it in Thailand with foreign gals. Where, hey, good morning, how are you? And it's just that tone where they don't even look. They're like, what is he saying? Whereas with
why is he
Thai culture, whether, like you said, whether it's a kid, or the kid's mom, the kid's father, the people working at Starbucks, good morning, hello, and it's just a common courtesy.
Yeah.
I don't know where that went back home.
I don't either. I really don't. I really don't.
And what's even worse, I said, if you say hi to an attractive woman here, not out of weirdness, hello. But even back home, it could be the least attractive woman, who's a 3, she thinks she's a 10. Yeah. Good morning, I think I'm actually being kind of nice. Mm-hmm. And she doesn't. She's like giving me the vibe, like, why are you even saying hello?
Yep. Yeah, but here, common courtesy.
Common courtesy. As we're talking about differences in culture and women, do you date now?
No. No.
I mean, your wife, it's too soon. She passed away 3 years ago.
Yep.
And there has to be moments of just loneliness.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, in fact, I think the first time I sincerely cried about her death was after I got up here. Until then, it was kind of hold it in.
Oh, in the city.
Yeah.
And you were around the family, you were in the familiarity of where you guys lived in Bangkok.
But up here, new surroundings, I happen to have some music playing. And I guess one of the songs just struck a chord. And I was able to cry, which felt better. But sure, I have periods of depression.
That happened when you were here in nature, like you had more time to be with you.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I have moments where I get depressed, and then I have to pull myself out of it. And so far, I've been able to do so.
Well, listen, Mark, you're doing fine. I think you're going to be 80 in November. Happy early birthday. I think your inspiration to me, to those watching, that there's I think a misperception sometimes of aging in Thailand as an expat, that it could be depressing. I've seen other people talk about it. They think, oh my God, can you imagine being alone as an old American in Thailand? How depressing. You're an example that it's absolutely the opposite.
I don't feel alone most of the time.
You don't feel alone?
Most of the time. I have friends. I have people that are almost family and people who are family. Another good example, I belong to VFW here. One of the members, last time I saw him, was 101. His wife was with him, younger wife, but he's been here a long time.
Yeah.
And, as you said, some people say, oh, geez, alone in a country like Thailand, you're going to get sick, you're going to be depressed, you're going to, have all the stuff that's going to pull you down. And I don't feel that.
And, I don't either. I don't feel lonely here. What's weird is when I go home, where I have my social network, where I have my people, right? But about a week after being home, I feel lonely. And I think a lot of it is the way our cities are designed. You're always in a vehicle. There's a lot of distance. People are working a lot back home, hustling. Me too. But here I don't feel lonely, even coming to Udon Thani, I don't feel lonely even though I don't know anyone, because I think it's the evening market. There's all this community interaction and a different kind of warmth.
Well, as you said, you say hello and people smile at you and respond.
Human validation, right?
Exactly.
And you even talk about Starbucks, and the Starbucks experience here is very different than the Starbucks experience back home or in Europe, where I go into Starbucks in Suratani and they already have my coffee ready,
That's it. They know what I want.
And it's just different. Yeah. And it's a nice way to start the day.
Yeah. Well, when I've gone to Starbucks in the U.S., when I was there, it was business. Here's your coffee, it goes down.
I think that's the case for any service in Thailand, that the service experience here is just different. Whether it's going out to eat, going to the market, going for a coffee, it's just it's more pleasant. Yep. Whereas back home, it's lost that, and then they want a huge tip.
Exactly.
And there's no tipping here. I mean, you can tip.
Well, I do tip.
You do, right? And I do.
Because I know, compared to our salaries.
That's right.
What they're making, they can live on what they make, but it's definitely not what we would call probably lower middle class.
No. You know, and I know it's a culture though. Tipping's not, it's not required.
Nope.
But back home, it's become a very, I don't know how to describe it, but it's become a huge issue.
And if you don't tip enough,
and I think it's just it's a reflection of other things that are broken in the American financial system, including employment and compensation, and the huge gap between, say, CEO wages and their workers. I think it's just a symptom of all that. But Mark, listen, man, great speaking with you. Before we say farewell, somebody comes to visit Udon Thani like me for a few days. What are the top 3 sites or experiences I should do when I come visit?
well, you've already done some of them. The night market.
I agree with you. I love that night market.
It's a great place just to walk around, mingle with people, see what's going on. Well, it all depends on your interest. I'm an avid history.
History, me too.
There's a place nearby in the province called Ban.
What's the third thing?
The third thing, I would say, maybe find a good massage place.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, so I like history. So that, and then the third thing you said, the massage. No matter where I'm in Thailand, you still get massage?
no, I don't. I have, with the replacement joints,
Yeah.
it causes me some problems if they slip.
Okay.
And I've just laid off.
I mean, for me, I have to get massage. I stay active, but I find when I go home and I'm away from Thai massage, I start to get tight, and joints start to ache. But when I'm in Thailand, it doesn't, because I get a 2-hour massage at least 4 times a week.
Yeah. And if you can do that, it does make you feel better.
Man, sleep better, more active, stronger.
I wish, I had clearance for a massage.
Yeah.
Because, as you said, sometimes you come out of there and it's just like, wow.
So guys, we're going to wrap this up. If you ever want to talk to Mark when you're in Udon Thani, I can almost assure you, if you go to the Starbucks by Hotel Moco, he's going to be there at 9:30 a.m. almost every day.
About that, yeah.
Right? Mark, good to meet you, man.
Good to meet you.
Yeah.